It has been 11,000 years since the kingdom of Adora was cast into the astral sea, along with the invading demon god Deimos. The last king of Adora, Gnarl Denstra, the elven god king Xandril Mishinel, and the necromancer Avigard fought and stopped the impending doom of the eternal darkness from coming forth, but were lost to the world when they too were cast into the astral sea. Now, the land of Redigan is split into 4 kingdoms. Adashmira is the Elven Kingdom, where 10,000 years ago they called the elves back into their forest to lock it away. Most heeded the call, but some believed that they should not segregate and stayed in the world.
The Round Top Rainforest, where many other races call home, is now a kingdom under the direction of the druids who reside there. They left their borders open, but all know that if you enter and do not respect the forest, your life will be forfeit.
The Dwarven Kingdom of Gratispar called the dwarves back to their homes, closing and locking the doors of their vast mountain kingdom, and they have not opened them yet.
Finally, the Kingdom of Remedigan, known as the Kingdom of the Humans, left its borders open and welcomed anyone who sought refuge. It thrived, not from isolation, but a joining of all races under one idea: peace. 100 years ago, Odura returned. With it, the High General Martin Firewell and King Xandril Mishinel, and there has been a fragile peace between all kingdoms. Until now. Hello, everyone.
Sit back and relax as I take you out of your reality and into my nightmarish dream world. Welcome to the Bros and Dragons podcast. I am your host and dungeon master for the evening, Daniel Doc Gentry, and with me are our players, Lista.
Hi.
Mike.
I decided to wear the hat today because I wore it half the time last stream and not half the other time for the stream. So I decided I'm going to wear it now. Will I wear it in the second half of the stream? Stay tuned and we'll find out.
And Hannah.
Well, I didn't think of anything. Then I brought my hat to maybe wear in the second half. So maybe Mike and I will just trade hats.
All right, we are 4 seconds into the stream and we are already off the rails. Let's.
Choo choo.
So I'll give you a few more seconds to go off.
I'm Freddy. I'm so Freddy, it's ridiculous. You really prompted some crazy stuff happening, and I am
here for it.
We got shiny dice from Snap.
Ooh, nice.
Shiny.
There we go. I'm Mike tonight.
But I'm Mike tonight. Okay. I decided I didn't want to go find another dice jail. So now if a die is bad, I'm gonna say my dog ate it because it could go in there.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Very excited.
I actually remembered dice tonight.
We're like on it. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah.
Dice jail.
And we got our dice. We got our dice jails, our mock dice jails. I think we're good. Doc, paint me a word picture.
Last time on the Bros and Dragons podcast, our friends woke up with the fragrance of lavender in the air, headed on. Tayson seemed to be back together, but he smelled quote-unquote sleepy. Stroop told Tayson he was being switched to decaf water. On the road, Tayson told Myrynda and Stroop a little bit of his nightmare. He was raised in a school, learned magic before he even had memories. He was in the school, talked a little of the training that was there, told them that all his friends died there, and told them the really good friend died while he was there. We talked about our about safe word for the game again, which prompted the text you all got earlier. They make it to the farming community of the kingdom, the twin cities of Lodell and Doval. Lodell is more workers with less of a town. Doval has more of a girthy town to it, even though there are both farming communities. The group decided to go to Lodell. They went to a butcher shop and stocked up on meats. I bet you everybody can tell me the name of it, but we don't need it. They then went to Two Geef's Buns and Bumps, the bakery there in town. The owner was a very stout dwarf named Bavin Toogeef, who seemed surprised when he saw Tayson. Later on the next morning, they would find out a little bit about Bavon, or Tayson would. He used to cook at the school Tayson went to, and he saw them torture him specifically. He knows how powerful Tayson can be, at least what he thinks he knows scares him. He also didn't know he was still alive, and Tayson told him that if he was in very real mortal danger, to ride to the castle and tell them that he is under his protection. They spent the night where dreams again ensued. Surprise, surprise, they spent some time in the inn's tavern. The Hibernation Inn, by the way, if you didn't write it. They headed to the road the next morning, had conversations about consequences, stopped a day out from town, named their horses. Tayson had another nightmare. They woke up and found out their cart was gone because the horses were named. They decided to sleep, woke up the next morning, got ready for the road. Let us adventure on.
We riding. Except for we're not riding.
We walking because someone stole our horses.
I don't know why
And
we're
our
making
cart.
looks. Like, I don't know who we're blaming.
That's not for you, Mike. That's for Doc.
Mine was for you, Mike. I don't know why, but I just felt an anger towards you.
Okay.
I think it was because the note that was left was signed the teacher, and that
You know what? I
resonated
actually
too.
totally vibed the idea of Stroop staring angrily at Tayson, and Tayson just being, and you just like, I don't know why, but I have a lot of anger directed at you, and Tayson, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, sure. No, I get that. Okay. So great. Well, the good news is it's not going to take us any longer to get there. It's just going to be less comfortable. Is it... Stroop, I know you don't want to... Like, I know you're not excited to walk, but I also don't know if it's offensive if I, like, offer to, like, carry you. So, can you just tell me what the right thing is for me to say here, and then we'll pretend that I did that in the first place?
Yeah, I think it is offensive, but hear me out.
Okay.
If I get tired, I will ask you to carry me.
Okay. All right, are we going to do a thing where you ask me to carry you, or is it going to be like a thing where, hey, I need to get a better look at the surrounding area. Can you give me a boost? And then I do that for a few hours.
I was thinking more it'd be like, man, my feet are getting pretty tired. I wish
yeah.
someone would carry me.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
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 But thank you for trying to be PC. I appreciate that.
I'm less PC and just more not pissed at me, but that's okay.
I mean, yeah. Nobody wants me to be pissed at them.
I mean,
fair and valid.
I just don't want anybody to... Okay. Yeah, so, presents. Here you go. Cool. And Tayson holds on to the weird, pulsy, glowy orb and a painting of him and a whole bunch of people that are totally irrelevant. Don't worry about it. We're good. And starts walking.
I'm not sure they're entirely irrelevant, but okay. We'll go with that.
Don't perceive my narrative. Let's go.
Too late. My perception as a rogue is high. Thank you.
Head down the road. Walking's a little
Yep.
bit different, but it's not unusual to see people walking the road, especially with a lot of stuff. A few carts come and go from time to time.
Steal one of those
Anything
cards.
you guys want to talk about?
No,
It's up to you.
No, that's Mike talking. Tayson wouldn't do that.
So, do you want to tell us about the school you went to and why this teacher stole our cart?
No.
Yeah.
But I mean now it's something that like directly affects you instead of tangentially, so I guess it's fair. So, like I said, went to a school. Basically, was born and raised in school. Learned magic. You know, strict teacher, from what I can tell.
I would say so, because they seem to be stalking you in adulthood as well.
Yeah, that's weird. I haven't heard anything from them in a long time. But I you know, the notes like, hey, it's good to see you out and about. So I guess maybe they might have wanted to and they couldn't, because, you know, it's hard to stalk
Because your
people.
father?
Well, I was gonna say hard to stalk people inside of like a castle.
I mean, that too.
But maybe, I don't know. But
I'd say
yeah.
Martin probably had a fair amount to do with why they couldn't get to you.
Yeah,
during that
I'm
time.
not gonna lie. I'm freaking out a little bit right now because I'm pretty sure that he's mad at me, or at least he should be mad at me. But then he gave us stuff, but he also took stuff.
He took a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working on a really good bone broth.
Is that not something that we can do when we stop for the night?
Yeah, but I wanted it to sit for a few days.
Right, but can't we get... Oh, but then we'd have to take it... Okay, yeah, that would be
Yeah.
heavy to carry with us over... Yeah, that's fair. I'm really sorry. I messed up dinner in, like, 2 days.
It's okay. We'll figure something else out. We might have to eat somewhere else. So I don't like that idea, but you know, we might have to.
I don't like getting takeout on the road unless we have to.
We literally, a couple of days ago, got takeout on the road.
Yeah,
It
but
was from
that's
the Waffle Hut.
different. It's the Waffle Hut.
I'm just glad we're not talking about the subject that we were talking about earlier, to be honest with you. So yeah, you know what? You're right. I dig it. You're right. Mm-hmm. Tayson's pace quickens.
Stroop does a little jog to keep up. I got little legs.
Myrynda is just kind of walking beside Tayson, since, if I remember correctly, she is actually a little bit taller than me.
I will verify that height has nothing to do with speed.
Really?
The
Yeah, but
shortest people at
stride.
work are the fastest people at my work. I just
Oh.
Hey, I'm only 5'8" and I got short legs for the size of my body. I was an all-state sprinter 3 years in a row. You know why? Those tiny legs, they have less motion that have to happen for them to step. Don't worry about
used
the
to move
physics of it.
fast.
There you go.
Logistics.
Yeah.
Timing.
Speaking of logistics and
Are you-
timing, we walk 10 days and we're
Yeah,
there.
we
You guys-
walked
No.
A whole 10 day.
10 days.
you'd still be 6 days out. All right, so we're walking the road. Are we doing anything or just chit chat?
We're chit-chatting. I know that Tayson is, like, eyes darting around, like, a lot now. If the cart had just gotten stolen, he would have been like, oh, that sucks. But it got stolen by the teacher and left a note. So now he's, like, actually on guard and worried.
And not just that, Myrynda was in the cart when it was stolen.
Yeah, that I'm not worried about that. Like, I like, it's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. That's no big deal. Somebody was in the cart, great, get him out of the cart. Poof.
I'm more concerned about the fact Myrynda slept through the fact the cart was stolen.
Magic. So yeah, Tayson's eyes are darting around, and like I think through the chit chat, specifically like Myrynda and Stroop talking to each other, Tayson's doing that weird thing where like he responds with like yeah, but in like the wrong increments, and like Tayson, how do you feel about this? Sure, kind of stuff. Because his mind is absolutely not here.
You know, this is going to lead to Tayson waking up with, like, makeup on his face. Because he consented to it, technically.
You said I could
Told
cook
you
you.
to assume.
You said
Told you to assume that he wouldn't wake up with makeup on his face by himself.
In this conversation, he definitely agreed to eating something other than broth.
Yes. That's
Again,
exactly what happened.
there's 0 times that you have ever offered food to Tayson that Tayson did not eat it because it would be rude for him not to.
True.
There are
It's
several
true.
times that he ate it, did not feel well, and then made flavored water and drank that to feel better.
At least it's flavored
Hey, so-
water.
Tayson, make me a perception roll.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm concerned about this fact.
That is.
I'm also concerned about the fact you put the safe word in the chat earlier.
Yeah, well, that's just a reference. Don't worry about it. It's not tangential to anything happening today, I'm sure. That's an 11.
11.
11.
You guys walk for about 5 hours, chit-chatting. You guys realize Tayson's not really paying attention, so you get him to agree to, I will allow you to have 2 or 3 things apiece. Just write them down.
You each get one. You each get one.
Okay, Hannah, I'm DMing you.
Yeah, you each get one. It's fine.
I'll have
At
to
one
think of some
point-
things.
At one point, and Tayson, you almost missed it, but you stop. To your right, the grass is just you. For just a second, we have one of those little short scenes you remember, you and Martin tracking, and then you see it, the grass, and for some odd reason, even in your head, you can see it's perfect, the tire size. There's a cart that recently went to the right through the grass here into the forest.
Oh. So it might be, how how sometimes there's those coincidences that are like too coincidental, so it's not a coincidence, it's like just actually a real thing. I think those are tracks from a cart recently that are going from the road off the road, which is kind of a weird place for them to go.
I mean, it's not the weirdest, but it is definitely suspicious.
Well,
Should we follow those?
I'm just saying, if you two really want to get our cart back, and there's a chance that that's our cart.
Maybe
Yes,
it
I
was
would
just-
like our cart back.
But maybe it was just someone pulling over to use the bathroom.
Right.
And they didn't want their stuff stolen.
Yeah.
Okay, but if
'Cause
we can find our cart, that's where I sleep. While we're
Yeah.
on the road. I would like the cart back. That is my bed.
True. I would like our stuff back. I mean, and yeah, what if they're in danger? I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Oh, okay. It
But what if
sounds.
they're pooping?
Well, I mean, it sounds like either way. It sounds like they could use some help. So let's. Oh boy. Okay, let's go into the woods. All right.
We're going into the woods.
Into the
Don't mind
woods.
book, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't mind the books. You know, he's
Don't mind-
not pulling out
don't mind
material to traumatize us at all.
Don't worry. Doc wouldn't go and get monster manuals for specific monsters. He would just have the monster in his head.
Monster manuals.
Right.
There's only one.
So anyway,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm okay. Let's follow this trail.
all right.
You start following this tire trail. It's a very unmarked path, so I'll need a survival roll from everybody, or 2 people can team up and give somebody advantage.
I'm decent.
I get a +4 to survival.
Here, go for it.
So
I'm pointing it out. You have fun.
Oh, I get a +5 to survival.
Hey. Tayson is still very busy looking around and making sure they don't get shot.
Mm-hmm.
Magic. Also arrows.
19 survival check?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I only got a 17.
That's also pretty good,
17 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
You follow the tracks very easily to a part where it opens up. You stop at the forest line. Won't put you in any danger. But in the open area, you look through, and in this very wide open area, you see a small shack. Looks like a one-room shack built in the middle of the woods. And next to it, a familiar cart.
Caught!
Did you say that out loud?
She's not going to yell it, but she's going to be like, those bitches. Like the Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch.
As a female dog walks by and just looks into the woods, shakes its head and walks off.
Don't say that, because that means that there's a lion to follow.
Is that Akat?
Perception check or insight
What do you-
check.
Why don't you
out
tell me
if
what you're
this is a
doing?
part-
I want to walk
What?
up to it. I want to go up to it.
Okay.
I want to touch it.
Oh
I'm
my
not going
God.
to stop you from doing that.
I'm still scanning.
From this distance, it looks familiar. Hannah, or Stroop, I should say, is doing the right thing by walking up to it to figure it out.
I'm still
Do
scanning.
you guys want to follow?
Still scanning
Yes.
around the surrounding area. Eyes open, trying to find out A, if there's anything lurking I can see, and B, is somebody just trying to find some privacy to poop.
Fine. Tayson, perception check, please. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Myrynda, you were going up to the cart, yes?
Yeah, she's gonna go up to the cart
Okay.
and she's gonna check the inside because what like her little ritual before she goes to bed is she like carves on the bottom of the cart.
18.
Okay.
So
You scan the area and you see some animal movement, which really heightens your perception, but there's nothing that you can see that's dangerous. A few deer skitter off, other things in the woods, but in a few times it's I see, and then it's just deer, just a
I'm
rabbit,
on
just
edge,
this.
so
Yeah.
okay.
You two head up to the cart. You look underneath for the scratches. Both of you, when you reach it, are like, that's our cart. And that looks like a lot of our stuff is thrown about. As you climb into the cart and you look, everything was dug through and all the foodstuffs are gone.
This is just blasphemy. I'm so upset that my accent's
no
changing.
blasphemy. Like don't get me wrong, I'm all for chaos, but this is going too far.
We better figure out who did that. Let's go check the shack to see if anybody's in there that I can just whap with my staff.
Well, I
Just
mean,
give him a nice whapping.
are we not going to ask questions first?
Who would we ask
Well-
questions to?
You just said
If there's someone in there.
But you just said let's see if there's anybody in there that you can whap with your stick, and I don't know if we want to.
We can
talk
ask
So
to them.
questions first,
since-
whack people later, but
Since we're having this conversation,
Yeah,
there definitely is louder than normal speak, considering
For
Kate's
sure.
on stage in the forest.
for
line.
sure.
And so now, while you guys hear that, you hear the door open. And a very old, but very... At one point in this old man's life, he was very strong. Probably a capable soldier of some kind, but comes out the door with a long sword in his hand. And he goes, Who's out there?
the owners of this cart that was stolen.
What cot? I don't have a cot.
They
Myrynda
they
just
say as they're from
motions
the
to the
cart. You didn't take this?
I don't own a cot. I didn't even know it was here.
Okay, well that's fine. Again, it was taken, last night. It got pulled over here. Did you hear anybody? I guess you didn't hear anybody, because otherwise, You might have
know it was
noticed.
here. Where are
I don't know if
I'm
I
assuming
believe
if
you.
you don't know. Perception, insight check. Insight check.
Sure, go ahead. Make an insight on him.
I would like an insight check. I don't doubt that this man, is having the issues, but let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make sure. Just to make sure. That's a 10.
There it is.
He's weathered, old, been in service for a while. Now that you see him, definitely an ex-soldier of some kind. The lines in his face make it really hard to read him at all, and he's like, "It's take your carts and leave. Got nothing for you here."
Don't have the horses. You could say that this would be a case of bringing the cart before the horse. Please, someone understand that joke.
I get the joke. It's good. I probably described it incorrectly. The horses haven't been disconnected from your cart.
Oh.
Appa's there. Can I kind of look around the cot? I would like to take a lap around the cot to see if there's any like footprints, any like breaks in the trees where someone may have like gone off away from the shack after ransacking a cot.
Sure. What's everybody else doing while she's looking around the cart?
Petting Fishy. And Appa.
The horses. I'll go. Tayson will go up. Not like towards the old man. Like I'll walk his direction, but I'm not going to like blatantly approach him because he is confused and and not at ease and has a sword out. Just, hey, really sorry. I think probably. Hey, you didn't eat our food, did you?
How would I? Where was your food?
Well, it was in the cart, and you said that you didn't know about the cart, and I'm inclined... I feel like that would be a weird thing to lie about, because I'm pretty sure I know who took our cart, and it wasn't you. So, it's fine. But, hey, did anybody give you food in the last, like, I don't know, 8 hours or so?
I hunt these woods myself.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's given me anything for years.
Oh man, it'd be really easy if you decided to hunt outside earlier this morning when there was a cart full of food.
Oh my god.
It's just, you wouldn't have to shoot anything. Just...
He lowers his sword and he goes, "You're Firewell's boy, aren't you?"
Do I recognize him?
No.
God.
Yeah, which, that's a problem, because if you can, because if you know who I am and I don't know who you are, that means that you recognize me probably from reputation, and that's not great.
He slides a sword back in the scabbard and says, "Anybody listening to you talk for more than a few moments, boy, will figure out who you are."
That's quite fair.
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
You're welcome, and no apology needed.
Great. Do you mind if we? I was gonna say, do you mind if we come inside and talk? But at the same time, I think I don't know if there's anything we need to do with you to bother you. Because I mean, we got our cart, we're good. How did you know Martin?
The High General was a High General when I served as a young man. Was there when I retired as an old man. And I've heard rumors talking with some of my old soldiers, and rumors through the line that a very skitterish, awkward young man he found on the road one day and took under his wing. Or I should say, Lord Firewell, and he bows to you.
Oh, please don't. That's worse. That's so much. You literally just described me as skitterish and then put me in a position of respect and dignity, and now I feel more apt to my reputation. Okay.
One does not reflect the other.
Fair. I'll tell you what. We are Whew. So we're without food now?
We have food, just not the good food.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
but so you go hunting. Do you use any? Do you use any spices or anything like that for your food, or because maybe we we don't have a lot to trade, but maybe we could trade some stuff and fill up your stock a little bit there, Stroop. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, if you know of any like cool plants in the area that are edible that could be used for such things as cooking, I really need to fill up my staff.
Every now and then, I make the walk up to the crossroads, and S&P is the spice for me.
Salt and pepper?
That's it.
Do you have salt and pepper?
I have so much peppercorn, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
We will never run out of peppercorn, ever.
Okay.
Martin made sure of it.
Well, I mean,
You see my staff? Oh, have I shown you guys this? Here, sir, do you mind if I give you a demonstration in a non-combat way?
Would you all like to come in for some tea since you've been misplaced to my home?
Yeah, but I don't think pepper goes
sure.
in tea. Yeah.
I mean, pepper can go in tea, but I'm not sure that's appropriate for whatever tea he has.
We could probably put it on a plate, and then I can use it later. So it works out. And he walks into the house and leaves the door open.
I'm much more confused on that statement than anything else that's been said so far.
I mean, maybe he doesn't have a spice hole. Yeah, let's go into this stranger's home to show him how to use a peppercorn grinder staff.
I
I
mean,
love that your staff has a peppercorn grinder.
It's a peppercorn grinder.
listen, we need to stop talking about what it does, and now you need more show, less tell. Let's as we go inside this house. You have rations.
You guys walk into the house, and what you see is a very open concept. There's kitchen in the middle on the left. There are two bookcases in the middle across from the kitchen on the right. There's a little sitting area with two chairs and a makeshift table and a bed all the way in the back.
Tayson walks in last and leaves the door open.
He lights a little fire underneath and puts a kettle on the stove and points to the table with the two chairs.
It's only two chairs.
Well, I mean, it's fair if he doesn't
I mean,
expect
Tayson
company.
stands
We're the weird
most of the
one.
time
Yeah.
anyway.
And you're doing a demonstration, so...
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
you should probably take the chair.
As you guys walk in and you go to the table, you can discuss who gets the chair in a second. The one thing that grabs your eye when you walk in is on the left side. It is very professional. Two swords crossed, a shield with the emblem of the forward-facing dragon face, which is the emblem of the king and queen, is the emblem of Remedigan. Armor that looks taken care of, but well used. The swords themselves, again, well taken care of, well used. The one that he had, little bit, probably could use a little bit more care, but it's not out of ranks or whack, or the metal's still good. But probably just as time goes on, it gets harder and harder to take care of these things. You see a writ relieving him from service signed by the king.
Does it say why he was relieved? Was it dishonorable?
It's a retirement thing.
Okay.
And if it was
Retirement.
dishonorable, you wouldn't be talking to him, because
Okay.
that's not the modern day army back then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they would have just,
Midway through reading, you're no longer a part of our army because you swing. That'd actually be a really
All
good way to
those-
distract them.
All those discharges, is a long writing. It
Yeah.
needs a signature on the bottom and a splatter of blood down the
Yep,
middle.
every time.
that is your signature. The splatter of blood.
I hate it.
But
Yay.
you walk in as he grabs one of the plates from his cabinet and puts it on the table and goes, "Well, let's see this fancy contraption of never-ending pepper."
Awesome. So I take my quarterstaff. That's actually just a giant. It looks like a giant peppercorn grinder. and it had I do the peppercorn part. It's much larger than me sometimes, so I
Right.
grind it onto the thing, and then I show everybody like, oh, and see, here is where I keep my mint, and open up a little like little doors in each level of it that has like, oh, this is where I keep my mint, this is where I keep my thyme, this is where I keep that new herb that we don't know what it is, but it smells really good. Here's where I keep my ginger root, very important for Tayson's broth, and just kind of show them like there's a lot of empty ones though.
As she opens the doors, these aren't just dried roots ready to be used either. These are planted and growing within her quarterstaff.
They're really cool.
This is awesome.
What do you call this thing? Does it have a name?
Not yet, but it's gonna.
Okay.
It's gonna. I will think of one.
Face you just made, Hannah.
Because I do
I
like.
will find a name.
I do like it. I do like the spice rack, or the spice,
Oh.
the staff spice rack, the staff rack, the spice staff.
Spicy staff.
That sounds interesting.
Staff of spiciness.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
I'll think on it. I like you guys'
The silver bullet.
suggestions. God.
Sorry.
I like those suggestions a lot, but let me think on it. I have to write down that I need that.
They're like actually growing out of this thing. That's
Yeah, Martin gave it to me.
That's a pretty cool gift. I like that.
Now that she mentions that, you do see the engraved yellow feather at the very top of the quarterstaff, right underneath the turning handle for the peppercorn. And now you realize that it has peppercorn all the way down the middle of it.
It's delicious.
Licks the staff.
I love this thing so much.
I'll even allow you to have
Like
a
a
few
lollipop.
mushrooms, for cooking that are growing on the outside as well.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Aw.
Only for cooking though.
Shiitake,
Only for
enoki, Bella.
No, nothing special. for
Nothing
you.
special yet.
Special.
Yet.
Don't
Keyword.
don't mix special stuff with the regular herbs and no, come on. Gotta keep those
No
separate.
promises.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm sure.
We'll get
I'm
you
sure
we'll
Stroop
get
has
you
some of
another
her,
staff with
special berries
just
in
drug
there.
stuff. It'll be great.
As
Alright.
someone who like doesn't do any drugs in real life, like this is great. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I know what some of those words mean.
Why do you play D&D? Because I get to live out the things
Because
that I
I
don't know.
definitely know about the marijuana.
Yeah, I bought about a pound last week.
That's not a lot, is it? Anyway,
It's sold
The-
by the ounce usually.
I don't
The
know what
guy-
I
a
got
pound
16
is.
orders worth. I don't understand the problem.
I don't want her to know. Don't tell her because it's better talking about this when she doesn't know. You see the guy look and he goes, "That's pretty fancy staff you got there."
Thank
Well, I'm sorry you guys were put out, and I'm sorry they put it by my house. And then the whistle goes off, and he comes back as he pours some tea. Depending on your taste, the tea may be good or bad, but it's collected from the forest. I try not to buy too much in my retirement.
Sound valid. I mean, I lived at the Temple of the Five for quite some time, so I'm pretty sure most things won't mess with me too badly. Unless Stroop accidentally poisons me again. Then that's another story.
Yeah. Stroop is gonna
that-
take a little sip of the tea.
Does that happen often?
Guess what?
Here
What
and
happened?
there.
Are
I
you poisoning
taste tea.
everybody?
If you had to
taste
put a
test things for
percentage
her.
on it, how often do you eat what she cooked and it poisons you?
Tayson is very, very, very intently listening for the answer here.
Maybe 10%. It's definitely not often.
God. I mean, I try.
Okay.
It's usually when she finds a new ingredient that it occurs. Usually.
No, that's
Usually.
very interesting group you guys are. I wonder why somebody took your cars.
It's
They
not
stole a
because
bunch
she
of-
was hiding drugs in there.
I don't hide drugs. Okay, I had a small amount of drugs in the cart.
I made a TikTok one time, and I mentioned that I never put drugs in my games. Never. It's always 100% of the time my players.
I mean to. Sometimes you just find berries in the forest that have psychedelic properties, and you can't just leave them there because some kid might try and take them. So
That's right.
instead, I take them and eat them at times of party.
Can't misplace what you
And
eat.
cook them.
Sure.
Myrynda, when she gets her tea, she pulls out not the flask with the brandy in it, but another flask from somewhere you guys haven't seen her pull one out from before.
You're
I'm
gonna
concerned
no,
and I
yeah,
don't want to know.
yeah.
I
I was
don't wanna
gonna
know.
say I
wanna
don't know if we have to know for for prosperity of the audio stake or just not. And it's
No, we don't.
Okay.
No.
I
No.
rolled for how
You don't
many
wanna know.
flasks she actually
You
has.
told me, and I didn't want to know. Now I know, and I'm telling you, you don't want to know.
I love that one. Good one.
I actually did not tell anyone how many flasks
No, it's
she has, so...
it's a quote. It's okay. We love this.
I know. I'm saying, like, going forward, you guys don't know how many flasks she has. Doc doesn't even know how many flasks she has.
One more side note.
Well,
Atlantis, good movie. Keep going.
Wait. All I hear in that last statement, by the way, Lisa, is you don't know how many you have. You just know what you
Oh,
know.
no, I actually do
Because
have it written down.
Doc hasn't told you how many you actually have.
It's a collective. You might have more. You might have less. You might be reaching into your pocket and like there's a portal to the Feywild and every once in a while your hand goes through and somebody just hands you a flask.
Also, I just had somebody take you off a cart without waking you up. So
That's also true.
remember that.
It's true.
Ooh,
Blame the lavender.
blame the lavender. Sorry,
Makes me
everybody
very
was sleepy.
sleepy.
I know. It's
You know
much
what?
easier
It
to
could have
sneak up
been-
on.
It could have been the Lavender's fault. She just, like, knocked out.
And it's still there.
Yep.
I know. I've been mainlining espresso beans.
Mainlining espresso beans.
Been
I
grinding them
mean-
up and just.
Thank you very much for the tea.
Least I could do since you were put out of your way. And do you need some supplies at all? I've got
I
a
mean,
little
we
bit
don't
of
want
meat
to
left.
take-
No, you just talked about how you're retired and you don't like to buy
Yeah,
things
do
if
you-
you can help it. We're
Do
okay.
you... How about this? Do you use your bones for bone broth?
Yeah, bone broth is the best broth.
Right?
Okay, then we won't take your bones. We'll,
We're okay. We can.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
Wrong type of... She does this. Not that type. Not that type. I'm talking about the animal bones. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
She's kinda
technically
like,
they are edible.
I'm attached to these right now, and you can't have these.
No, you're using them. It's okay.
wrong type.
No,
Okay.
that was a misunderstanding. It's okay. Hey, how long have you been retired?
12 years.
Do you like it?
No one bothers me anymore.
No, that's fair.
That's not an answer to the question, though. Because, I mean, technically we're bothering you.
Are you? Interesting.
Bothering
just go
somebody
ahead and
means you're
stop
stopping what they
bothering you.
would be doing. But sometimes a bother is a blessing. So I don't know.
Maybe we have different definitions of what bother is.
Oh, sorry. Martin told me that one. I don't know. I just either way. No, we don't need to put you out. We'll be able to manage on our own, I think. I'm sorry, we didn't get your name.
Well, the DM wrote it down, so hold on.
Uh-huh.
Implying he doesn't come up with the names. all the time.
I have it here though. Diatora. Elrond Diatora.
Okay. Well,
Elron. All I think is Elron Hubbard. I'm sorry.
Elrond Diatora?
Elrond Diatora.
well, it's nice to meet you, sir. Maybe on our way back we can stop by and check in on you.
You're welcome anytime. Surprised you found the place. I don't have any roads and I walk everywhere, but
Well, we followed the tracks.
god.
fresh tracks in the grass would be difficult to follow, so kudos to you.
Wasn't that hard, was it?
Followed it with my elf eyes.
Are we?
Well,
Myrynda,
You
what
have
do
a
your elf
druid.
eyes see?
you have a druid, you have an elf, and then you have a half elf who was trained by the High General to track, so
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
probably for anybody else, nobody else would have made it here.
Yeah, you're right.
That is fair and valid.
I think.
Stroop looks a little deep inside and remembers, just kind of the affinity for the forest and what she's supposed to do, and just like, oh yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
How do you respond to the annoying just catching on? No, you're not supposed to know exactly why you're catching on. Trying to stop yourself from going down that path too far because you have a business you want to run.
Always have a business. Stroop gets, has a couple of minutes of self-reflection and just kind of like confusion. Not confusion, just like a fight within herself. That's just like, I know what, like, I am destined to do, and I, still have that, like, man, I can't words well today.
I was just wondering what they would see. So what I'm picturing is as you guys were tracking this and you start to lose it, all of a sudden you see Stroop just look around. Weirdly, she's a city girl from everything that we could tell, right? So all of a sudden she's looking around. She's like, no, here, see that branch, that crack, look at this. Oh, one rubbed over here on this tree. Went. And then like at one point following this, it's like being really good at puzzle games and you're putting it together and then all of a sudden you remember you didn't want to do puzzle games anymore. And so you stop. And you're like, and then it's just like back to normal walking. You see this little shift in Stroop.
Yeah, definitely kind of like a shutdown, like, I guess we're doing this.
Well, I invite you to stay, but I got nowhere for somebody to sleep.
No, that's okay. How late in the day is it anyway?
You guys just got rolling.
Yeah, I was gonna say we woke up and went about 5
It's
hours
about
down
5
the road.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
no, that's okay. I'll tell you what. You're just a salt and pepper guy. How do we feel about making a meal, and then we can get out of your way, Have somebody. You don't have a lot of company.
I'll make you some lunch. Sure.
Oh,
And he looks around and he starts pulling things out.
I was actually our friend here is actually a very accomplished cook. 90% of the time, as you've heard.
Yeah, the one that likes to poison people. Like if I roll the dice, about 10%.
Only if it's something that she hasn't tried before and is weird. But depending on what's here, she
But
might
if you
try
put in
something.
you put in the friend math, that's probably closer to 25, maybe even 50%.
No,
being nice.
if it means anything, when they were talking, I was trying to be as objective as possible because I'm that's not one of those things where I'm not going to potentially harm you to save somebody's feelings, so it's okay.
yeah,
Well,
and
like
if
I said, go ahead.
if I use what you have already available, then I will not have a high chance of poisoning anyone because I won't use anything I have just found. I won't experiment, is what I'm saying, if you allow me into your kitchen. But also, I understand because a person's kitchen is a sacred place.
I also just realized that I volunteered for you to cook for somebody else.
You also did that. You did that, but that's okay. I'm cool with that.
I could try to cook, I guess.
No,
is the only...
I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay.
I trust
I could
you
cook. I've been cooking for 76 years and never poisoned a person once.
that you know of.
No, I know.
What was your position in the army?
I was a stabby guy.
Oh, okay, so not a cook. Okay. Well, okay,
No,
that would
not a cook.
also decrease the percent. Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess you haven't poisoned anyone, but you haven't like tried. So.
Oh, you want me to? Maybe I
No.
can. He starts looking around.
No, I'm good.
I'm
Actually,
becoming-
you could try.
I'm becoming less inclined to eating here. Because now I can't decide if it's awkward for him or if it's awkward for us or if we're in danger. But, you know, here we
I do have
are.
stout resilience.
He left, and
Okay.
from what I saw in character, Stroop laughed at that.
Yeah, but Tayson doesn't understand social cues. We're fine.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you guys want to do. I can cook. He can cook. Nobody could cook. We can pack our cot and
You
leave.
cook together.
We could cook together. I could hand you
You don't cook
some
together.
additional spices.
Not in this kitchen. Nobody cooks together.
Okay, we could not do that.
He'll pull out salt and pepper, some meat, some vegetables. And have at it.
Yay.
White people stuff.
I eat. Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, that sound. What meat is he cooking?
What meat are you cooking? It doesn't matter. Let's not get into it. We already know Hannah can't cook, so we're not throwing that in there.
I make chicken. Someone did
That's
ask me to
right.
make. Someone did ask me to make a cooking TikTok of how I make my buffalo chicken mac and cheese because that's the only thing that I can make really well. So, you know, getting there with the cooking thing.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Cool. We share a meal. Yay, friend. Alright. Well,
How good is the food?
You do well. You're a chef. I don't need you to roll.
Oh, I cooked.
You're not
I don't
trying
know
to
why
read
I
the
thought
rule?
he was cooking.
oh, I thought he was cooking too. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
He
Oh,
let
I
let
know
you
it's good.
cook
Okay.
with his white people stuff,
Yeah.
as you called it, or what
White
I
people
call it, survivalist stuff, because nobody's running around with cumin in the forest. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, you don't. I go hiking a lot, and you'd be surprised.
This
what
is,
I
this
do.
is
I-
Stroop
I-
talking, not Hannah. That's all I know.
I'm just saying I've definitely had one of the little camping spice things that has like paprika and turmeric and shit on it. So-
I'm talking. This guy goes and gets his spices.
Hunts for survival.
Yeah, hunts
Yeah.
for survival, forages for survival. Probably not too far from a water source somewhere.
Mhm.
Really old.
Got it. We eat and it is goodish. Yay. Thank you.
It's delicious.
Thank you.
Because I made it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And I appreciate it too.
Thank you for letting me use your kitchen. If anybody else could help clean up, I would super appreciate it.
Tayson
As
is
I cooked it.
you say that Tayson has already been over and just like prestidigitating plates and it's just like pointing at each individual piece of like cutlery and everything like that and just goes, yeah, sure, no, I got it. Boop.
Elron comes over by Stroop and goes, "It's kind of cheating, don't you think?"
You know, it gets the job done, and that's all I need in a clean kitchen.
So you also think it's cheating? Got it.
Boop.
I didn't say cheating was bad, though.
Boop. Boop. Boop.
Myrynda's just over there like.
Nice,
If he's
nice.
got this.
All right, I guess that's it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, sir.
Again, I'm sorry. I don't know. I figure I would hear a cart coming up, but I guess somebody made it so I couldn't.
Which is
I hope the
concerning.
weird. Yeah, I hope the weird stuff doesn't continue, though.
Well, if it does, you just... I would say yell our names real loud, but we're actually heading really far away, so you'd have to yell really, really loud.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure that's how it works.
No?
I'll be okay. I got some
Yeah.
foraging to do today anyways, and I mean, what are they gonna do, rob an old man? I don't think anybody has that kind of heart.
Okay.
I'm gonna
We'll-
leave
we'll go
before
with
I'm
that.
forced to answer that question or consider it.
Yeah, Stroop is gonna go start collecting things and throwing them back in the cart, because they were all around the cart.
Yep, you pick it up, you throw it in. Like I said, everything else is in there. Even the horse stuff, but not the food stuff for the people.
Just spite. Just pure spite. Whoever did this to spite me. Stroop is just mumbling under her breath like, this, I don't know why they would take just the food stuff. I mean, if they're very hungry, they can just go to the Waffle Hut. But, you know, here we are, and just another bag plops in. Very upset.
You guys head off after pleasantries.
I want to...
Yeah.
Myrynda's quiet. I'm just wondering if she just disappeared and went down a hole somewhere and like...
internal
No, she's-
struggle.
And she's internally struggling with how she feels about that fucking devil still, but you know, that's not coming into play.
That it actually does. That makes sense why you were quiet the whole time.
No, there we go.
Stroop would like to give the horses a once-over just to make sure they're okay. Don't have anything wrong with them.
Give me an animal handling.
Why is my character sheet never where I think it is? I got an 8.
Nothing you see. Looks like they care. It looks like the horses were cared for as they rode. They didn't ride them too hard.
Okay. I'm not gonna be able to see.
Where is my sheet? Never where I want it to be. Takes off glasses. Now cannot see sheet.
It hurts my ears so bad.
Yeah.
I need new headphones.
Oh,
No, you
the
need
info for the headphones I have because they're really comfortable.
you need the
Because I had that
clip-on,
issue.
like Morpheus.
Yeah, or like some double monocles. Double
Oh,
monocles would be cool.
And a pocket watch. So, anyways, you guys easily take this through the forest again. The annoyance on her face as Stroop points you back to the road. And you guys are back on your way with your cart.
You seem pretty... I don't know. Forest savvy, I guess? I don't know if there's
There you go,
really a
Hannah.
phrase for it.
Oh, thank you.
Those are what I have. They're really comfortable.
Okay, I will have to buy them. Are you calling me Forest Savvy?
But yeah, you're kind of darting all over the place to get us there and out.
Yeah, my grandparents taught me some survival stuff.
Okay.
It's not important. It's no big deal.
I'm not trying to project too much, but you did tell us about like everything
Yeah.
else, including
Yeah.
like you don't have to do the. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still. I'm coming to terms with it still. It's
Okay.
still. I'm.
No, I get it.
I don't know.
I have a question. Why is it? Is there any reason you couldn't do like your franchise in like a forest?
Oh, I absolutely could. But then you have to think of the business aspect of it. Is there going to be a road built through there to where I get business? Are people going to know about it? Are they going to want to travel through the woods? What if there's, robbers and stuff on the way? So I have to find the perfect location.
Oh, see,
Really?
that's actually kind of why I was thinking it might be like, I thought it would actually be safer because it's like, oh, there's this like establishment where people go to eat, and that's you can't be mean around a place where people eat because they're eating. That's rude.
That's not quite how that works, but I mean, I applaud the mentality.
Yeah, and sometimes animals aren't as tame as we want them to be. I personally love to pet a big fluffy bear, but not everybody does. And big fluffy bears don't always just casually walk up to you to be pet. Sometimes to me,
Only you.
not to other
To be
people.
fair.
To be fair.
Okay. I was just wondering. You seem like you're good at it. You're good at a lot of things.
Thank you.
pretty-
Hopefully cooking is at the top of that list.
It is among the top of the list. In a good way. I think I'm giving you more credit for your other qualities than you are. That's all.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I appreciate it, and yeah, maybe one day I will have something that can incorporate the forest into the hut. Maybe some sort of cafe.
You literally have a stick that is growing plants that you use to cook. Like I feel like you're
no.
integrating just about all things into wherever you go, but I'm being
This is
reductive.
This is my fighting stick too.
Right.
You know. Whack whack.
It's this. Oh, I got it. Mike just thought of it at the same time. It's the spice whack.
A spice whack.
Yes! It's Spice Whack!
Coming soon to nerdworksmedia.com.
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? We
A
can't make that thing.
homebrew Spice whack.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
I know what I want.
I'm gonna start a homebrew page, and I'm just gonna blog these things as they come. Yep.
The
So I have to
selfie
make up for.
stone.
I have to get the selfie stone. I have to do the what's your nightstand? Your nightstand of holding
Oh yeah, that has all
with,
of your
with the
flickers.
secret pocket dimension. Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
not
it is
gonna
my
lie.
nightstand of holding.
I think we're close to going to a break anyway, and I'm not going to be able to top that.
But
Yeah. Continue.
you guys head on your way. We're close. We're not there.
I get you.
Yeah,
as
closer
your
to
day
10
of
because that's when I
travel-
put my up out of bed.
I don't know what that means from here. It's like 6. I'm not going for 4 more hours.
Told you.
Um,
Got you.
7:13.
Yes.
You end of your day's travel, you go into a very well-known area where 3 roads cross: the forest road, the mining road, and the main road. Easily enough to Nola's Crossing. It's like a fair almost. You never know what kiosks are going to be here. As merchants travel up and down this road, they stop and set up temporary sale kiosks. And there's so many different things. Elven, even some of the tribes come up here to sell some spiritual things once in a while. Different campsites all over. People can spend days here as you guys pull up in your cart. It's very packed because, well, just a couple of days ago, there was a funeral for a very important man in this world. And there is a lot here. In fact, it's the first time that you've seen that all 9 middle kiosks are full. Usually 1 or 2 of them are blank because merchants don't travel the road as heavily when you get this far. And like I said, they rotate. It's first come, first serve. So if somebody sets up, they're good. Being here is profitable for most merchants. Today, more profitable. But as you enter in, you find a camp spot a little further out than you'd probably want to, but you do see that there are a bunch of general shop stuff here. They may or may not have what you need. There is no bakery, no hunting. There's one place that sells skins, and I think there's 2 that are really interesting. One is something called Taverns and Trinkets. As you look at it, it looks like a Mod Podge of like different things just tied together. And then there's another one that people walk in, but it's like there's a black sheet covering the front, and it has a little ordinance sign on it, and it says, according to the laws of the land, I don't understand this, but this sign's up to let you know that the shop can't be open, and it's just a little place called Alkai's Basic Ceremonial Decoratives.
Shout out to Alkai.
Now, are they actually ceremonial, as in like the 5 and other lower gods.
As you get your campsite ready, you are more than welcome to go, and what everybody does, peruse the area. And this is we'll go to break as you guys perk up, because it's more like a carnival without the rides. You know, if it was food carnival thing going down.
It's a run fair.
Yeah.
But like,
well, without the rent.
Without the rent. This is just a fair. So everybody, we're going to go to a break. We will be right back. Go get yourself some water, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in a minute.
Okie dokie.
Hi everyone, we're back. We got the waters
we're back.
and the foods and the potty breaks and to take care of families and the angry work calls and the doggos and
I didn't touch my doggos.
the
You
dating
did.
advice and is it dating
non-dating advice?
Yes, and the proper way to eat sushi and a whole bunch of other stuff that if you want to hear us talk about, you're gonna have to listen to the podcast, which will be coming out very soon. In the meantime, Doc, paint me a word picture.
Red 1, blue 2, green 3.
Mhm.
I'll send you the map. It's by numbers. All right.
Perfect.
You guys end up. You guys are at Tanola Crossroads. You've parked your cart, got your campsite. What do you guys want to do? You've had some pretty bad things happen recently, so I don't know if everybody just wants to go do the fair thing and hopefully nobody steals the car again.
Why don't
Is there? Oh, I don't have alarm right now. I think that's too
why
high.
don't you two go have some fun? You like you like shopping for stuff.
Yeah, let's go have some fun.
If there are any games, could you try and go and win me something?
Yes, I
Yeah,
can.
we
I
can
would
do
like.
that.
I would like to do that. I
Okay.
would like to win
We
you
can
something.
Great.
definitely do that.
Here you go,
Yes.
and I give them 50 gold, because that is what I have.
So we're gonna go play carnival games on Tayson.
I have no idea what you're going to do, because you're going to get whatever Doc makes. But I have a character flaw for Tayson who does not understand currency. And then as we actually had our early adventures and things, nobody tried to teach Tayson the value of money because Tayson was a free ride. So I cannot wait for this to go wrong in the very near future. If only somebody was like really business savvy and like
If only.
had a good idea.
If only someone was trying to start a franchise.
Or if somebody worked with the church, which did a lot of collections and also had a good idea.
hey.
I'm just saying that you literally had piggy bank here, and now we're taking the person away from the piggy bank, and we're gonna see what happens with our money.
Yes. Kira,
We gotta go
come
back
on
to
in.
the castle and
Here we
get
go.
some more money.
Nope, can't do
We're not
that.
going back to the castle yet.
Okay, so I took 25 of the gold. Myrynda, if you want the other 25.
Yeah,
I like that you guys take his money, split it. Talk about it so I know what's going on character sheets.
I put it on my character sheet just
I'm
now.
putting it. Yeah. I had to
Don't you
pick up my
worry.
cat first.
It's
Gosh.
very important.
I think the more concerning thing is I said, hey, if there's something that you can go win, cool, bring me back something, please. I gave you way too much money, and your response was, neat, I have 50 gold now. Cool.
Well, we're gonna win you something. We'll bring you back
Yeah,
change.
We'll
more
bring
money.
you back a teddy bear
Or more money if we gamble.
from the crane machine.
The crane machine.
If you make medieval arcane crane machine, I am going to be thrilled. But regardless of what
I
you
would
do, I'm
love
already here.
that.
Yeah, there's no way consider here's the other part here. I apologize, and I'm very excited for Doc creating this thing. There is no way Tayson is leaving this cart. There's not. I can't. It got stolen. It got stolen from somebody that's he's responsible for. Tayson is holding it together really well and is super excited to have a mental breakdown the second that you two leave to go have fun. It's going to be awesome. So
I mean,
cathartic.
you know,
Have a great
it
time.
happens.
Please leave now. Cracking at the seams. I twitch.
I'm not making myself more juju. Not at all.
All the energy drink.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging it.
The timing on the juju partnership was great.
There you
Right
go.
before Gen Con? Come on.
Yeah, go do your thing. Also, go win me a teddy bear.
You guys head off.
I want to look for any
Yeah.
arcade
I'm thinking
game.
if I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and pop your bubble because that's not what I meant.
Yeah, I know.
There's no games. It's just
Damn.
kiosk. It's like going to a con. It should have been a better thing where.
You said fair.
Yeah, they did. They treat it like a fair. There's food here like a fair.
Can I? Is there anybody like selling cool like odds and ends maybe?
So there is that trinket store you saw, and now
Oh,
that you're
yeah.
walking around, you see it is a very tall, thin, long-haired, put back in a loose ponytail, drow woman running the trinket store.
Okay.
She takes something, adjusts it a little bit, takes something else, adjusts it a little bit, adjusts the other thing back a little bit, goes over to the other side, adjusts a little bit. There is the interesting kiosk that's closed off. That's called, let me scroll down to where that is, Alkai's Basic Ceremonial Decoratives, with the letter on the outside saying, according to the kingdom, I can't have this cart open or exposed, but you're more than welcome to come in and look around. Now that you're
I'm gonna
closer,
go
you see
look in.
there's an age limit. You have to be over a certain age, and I haven't decided what that is. You have to go in, but it's the adult age.
I had no idea what that cart was at all. I am just now getting
Now
it.
I have it.
Yeah.
Now I have
Oh.
ideas of what might be in that cart, and I love the fact that it's
It is.
Is it spicy adult or is it just like
It
because
is
it's
super
like weapons?
Right. It is super weird to like think of what like the minimum age would be in a world where there are so many different races that live somewhere between like 10 years and
Oh, yeah.
thousands.
Yeah, because an 18-year-old elf is definitely a toddler.
But like
Yeah.
an 18-year-old goblin is like already 5 years dead.
Age of
So
I would say age of majority for each species would be the age limit.
There's just a chart
And
that says you must be this
And
old
then-
as a goblin, this old as a...
Oh no.
or they gave up with the ages and they made marks. You have to be this tall. We assume you're of age if you get here.
Oh no.
God,
No, it's
that's
all right.
fucking great.
It's all right. It's a flow chart. It's okay. You must be this old or this tall. You're okay.
Stroop does not want to go in there. No. But I think
but
it's one of the
without-
cleric
With.
does.
There's no heart or thing. It's just an age limit. Bell curve, I guess.
Okay. Oh my god.
You're in it now. Go have fun.
Most of things ended up here at the top, but like there's like minotaurs over here.
That's wonderful.
Orcs
That's
right
fucking
before the
wonderful.
middle of the bell, and on this side, way over here, is a bunch of elves.
Stroop heads towards taverns and trinkets,
Okay.
away from
Yeah,
that place.
I'm going into this place.
All right, that's fine. So let's do taverns and trinkets first, because I don't want to ruin it. But you run over, and as you're walking up, she spins around. Not normally, what people do is they spin around, they hear somebody coming, eyes up, then down to you. She spins around, boom, eyes to you. Says, "Oh, was wondering you would be here. Hi, can I help you find something today?"
Yeah, I'm looking for a gift for my friend. That I need it to look kind of like I want it at a game. Anything.
Well, we only have the finest things here, and as you look around, not the finest things here.
I can
let me
see
get
that.
to that spot.
Finest things.
Finest things.
Found it.
Air
There's too many
quotes.
books in this game. Just quick glance, you notice that there's a bright green feather. You look next to the bright green feather, and there's a tiny sketched portrait of a goblin. look around a little bit more. A rabbit's foot on a chain, a glass eye right next to that.
That's
Um,
interesting.
You see,
Clearly, Stroop is buying him the glass eye.
you see, you see a journal that has chunks of pages ripped out, missing, and you can see it in there. And she's like, "Well, any of my magical wares grab your eyes?"
Yeah, I like that feather. What can you, is there a story behind it?
Ah, the bright green feather. So, lore, Dayton is a moon. Okay. She says, yes, this is the feather of Dayton before they ascended to godhood. She points up at the sky.
Oh, well, that's cool. Okay, how much for that?
Everything here is 5 silver.
5. Okay, 5 silver. Okay. What can you tell me about the glass eye with the rabbit's foot? Are those together? Are those separate? Are they attached by a chain?
Ah, those are separate. And she puts the feather down her sleeves, and as she reaches into these long sleeves, she pulls out the rabbit foot in the eye. And as you look, the blue feather's up where it was on the shelf, and the eye and the rabbit's foot are gone. These are separate.
Does she have a sleeve of holding?
Cool. Rabbit foot and eye. Okay.
You want to know about these magical? I'm not so sure about the eye. I actually think it just fell into my possession at one point. But it's cool. And she holds it really close to you.
Oh, that's
Did
pretty
it literally fall into her possession? Like, she smacked someone upside the head and someone's glass eye fell out on her.
But the rabbit foot, oh, those are always good luck. Except that never made any sense considering that rabbits have 4 of these, and obviously at least one of them doesn't have any of them anymore, or is missing one, or and she just starts rambling off as she's staring at the foot.
Huh.
You know, you can't fault her logic there.
Well, I think you know, can I get the feather and the eye?
The feather and the eye. Okay, and she puts the rabbit's foot down his sleeve, pulls out the feather, and as you look up, feather's off the shelf.
Huh.
Rabbit's foot is back where it is. She goes, yes, that'll be 6 silver.
I thought everything was 5 silver, and I have 2 things.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. 1 gold.
No, that's
Wait,
that's,
one
right.
gold,
That's
3
right.
silver.
One
right.
gold is
So-
10 silver. So if they're 5 silver, it's
Hold on. He's doing a thing.
Is it 2 for 25? 5 silver's fine. I'll take 5 silver. You're a good negotiator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll here's 5 silver. Actually, I'm gonna. Do I have? Okay, I'm gonna give you 10 silver. Okay.
Oh,
As a
why, thank
tip
you.
because I think you're a nice lady.
Thank you very much.
And I want you to keep being able to do business. My friend Tayson would want that, and that's who I'm getting these gifts for. So, here is your 1 gold, also known as 10 silver.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, hold on. There we go. Just waiting for the
Sorry.
line to come out. No, it's good. It makes for a good podcast. She says,
Mike.
"Oh, thank you very much." Takes that, puts it away. She says, "Did you say Tayson? The Tayson?"
Nope. A Tayson. A Tayson.
There's more than one of the Taysons as a Tayson.
I am not sure whether this person is the Tayson that you are looking for. These are not the Taysons you are looking for.
These are not the Taysons I'm looking for.
No. Have a lovely day. I hope that you continue this lovely business, and I will send all of my friends here.
Oh, absolutely. Have a good day. And she mumbles to herself. Roll a perception check.
Of Good perception. Yes! I rolled good for the first time in forever. I got a 24.
As you're leaving, her first part, she's mumbling. You can barely make out what she's saying. But the second thing that she says, like now it's like limerick and you can hear it. She just says, "Eternal flame will darken the land."
Ooh.
And then she starts
Oh,
mumbling to
no.
herself some more.
But I'm not here for this, so I have no say.
I'm sorry, ma'am. What, are you reciting a song that you really like?
Reciting song, I don't remember. Well, hello, welcome. Can I help you find something today?
No, thank you. You have a lovely day.
You sure? I have a wonderful feather around here somewhere.
No, we're good. I bought that feather from you already. I paid you well for it, and, that's...
You bought it.
I did.
She looks down, but this is a gold piece. It's not a gold piece. It's only 5 silver. Hold on, let me make you some change.
No, I don't need
She
any.
pulls
I
up a
don't need any
box.
change. Stroop
Just
turns
run.
around and
Run.
just runs away as fast as she can.
She closes the box, puts it in there, and turns and starts talking to somebody else. Myrynda, you walk up to the sheet. You open it up and you walk in. A couple of people looking around snickering, and you hear this gentleman, tall, human, a little bit more robust. Doesn't seem like he travels around much, but definitely has done some work, judging by like the cuts and calluses of his hand.
Okay.
And as you look around, he's talking. So what he's saying is, yeah, I don't understand. My brother makes goth decorations, and I sell them, and I always sell out. People call them gag gifts or whatever, but I don't understand. He dyes ropes, and he points at the ropes. He says, oh, he makes fly swatters, and he points at another mechanism that you can't see. Oh, these are cool. Play tricks on your friends. They're handcuffs with releases on them. They have padding on the inside so they don't hurt anybody. Somebody else makes a purchase and leaves.
The cake shop. I love it. Oh my god. Oh.
Yes, have a good day, and they leave, and everything's in a very non-see-through, very thin sack. It's not going to last long. You're not going to be able to use it, but it's good enough for shopping. As he looks over your way and says, "Oh, I'm sorry I missed you. Welcome to Alkai's Basic Ceremonial Decoratives. Is there anything I can help you find today?"
I'm just looking, but what are these? And she points to the handcuffs.
Oh, these are a great party gift. And he pulls a set down. There's like 3 sets left. Opens them up in there. Obviously got fur lined around the whole thing, and they're dyed different colors too. And he's like, these are trick handcuffs, so you can play a trick on somebody. All you have to do, and he puts one on his wrist, and he points at a mechanism, pulls it, comes right off. Nobody gets trapped in these. My brother does great work. And I wouldn't do this to anybody else, but Alki is RJ, my buddy. I know him very well, and I decided to have some fun with this one.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love it here. I love
So
this.
as you see now, there's normal butt plugs with tails of animals, collars, leashes, Wharton wheels. I don't know if you know what those Whartonberg wheels, leather bondage masks, some gag balls, folding and portable saints crosses. They're cushioned with really good leather on them. The thing that he was pointing out, the fly swatter, are actually flogs.
Yeah, I figured.
There's a few different kinds of paddles and some with feathers on the end. There's also very expensive looking collars, and it says Infinity collars, and it's a locked post. You can see them, but he has a special key to unlock it and take them off.
The question is Myrynda spicy enough
I don't know. It's not my
in
character.
her No, I'm trying to say this in a way that I won't get my TikTok live down. To want these, is she
Basic ceremonial decorative items.
I'm trying to think how horny she is for the devil.
Wow.
We're gonna roll for it.
Hold on. Before you roll,
We've had a projecting conversation.
let's talk about this. How many times has this come up with Lissa talking about her feelings for the devil? How many times has Myrynda talked about her feelings for the devil? I feel like at a certain point, you're rolling to see if you're a thing that you've already canonized that you kind of are. So you can put it to chance if you want to, but I feel like...
Myrynda is still conflicted on her feelings.
I'm
here,
just saying.
okay?
I'm just saying roll with advantage. You know, because canon.
I'm just
So
doing
before-
odds or evens.
Before you worry about that, can you, as you're looking around the shop, can you roll me a 1d10?
A 1d10. That's a d10. That's a 2.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mixed in with the other stuff, you see what looks like a regular knapsack. It's got a feather on the outside. But more importantly, because of how attuned you are to the divine and the fact that you flip from place to place and you've lived in the Feywild, you sense it has some magic to it.
She's gonna check that out.
So you walk over and you take it off, and you notice it's just sacks. 5 gold. And there's a bunch of sacks in here, but this one is a little bit unusual. And as you open this one up, you notice there are little balls of fluff that seem to be inside here.
Inside? Question mark? I really should. Next time I get like some kind of skill bonus, make insight one of my ones. Oh, okay, that is a 17.
It's something of magic.
How much is... And she holds up the rucksack with the fluff in it. How much is this?
All the bags on that rack from my brother are 5 gold apiece.
So she... Alright, before she pays, odds or evens?
I don't care.
Mike.
Odds.
Okay.
Sorry,
That's
my
an
name's
odd.
Mike
So
now.
she's getting the fluffy handcuffs. She's getting the fluffy handcuffs.
Okay, so that'll be 5 gold, 8 silver.
She hands him.
While you're paying, where did you go, Stroop?
Stroop is gonna head back towards the cot.
Okay.
She
As the girls
did what she was supposed to do.
left, though, what did Tayson do?
Guess what my goal's at now because of that.
Yep. Ooh.
$2.
Ooh dollars.
Spicy dollars.
There you go. Well, now I feel bad because Tayson had a mini breakdown. So I think while the girls were gone, it turned into the anxious pacing back and forth, running the hands along his hips and thighs to try and like keep himself contained, a little bit of sway, and I think he is like circling the cart to the point where like you can start to see his own footprints as he's staring back and forth all over the place to try and see if there's anyone approaching, if there's anyone watching, anyone along those lines. He's just not having a good go of it.
Okay. Myrynda, how does this shopping experience end for you?
She smiles at the guy and goes, because she gave him, what is it, 6 gold, so she gets 2 silver back. And goes, thank you, sir. I'm sure these
Anytime.
will be used wisely.
We have assorted color and ropes. If you're ever going to go out adventuring, I hear you always need ropes. For some odd reason, they're not 100 feet. They're 32 feet. My brother calls them marks. It's really weird. Anything that you might need here at all.
Sounds good, thank you.
Yeah, have a good day.
I found the Shibari shop.
And do you head back to the cart, or where do you go?
She's gonna head back to the cart. But she'll circle around the fair before she does.
Anything you're looking for specifically?
Just anything cleric-y.
Okay. Roll me a D100.
D100. Oh, and fancy daggers.
Okay.
You know why. That is a 52.
Not finding anything. There's no weapons here right now.
Okay. Any cleric-y things?
There's always the fake cleric-y things being sold as novelty items. There's Buddy Arlen. And then there's...
Fucking Buddy Arlen. I love it.
There's like God on a rope. It's got Gomo, the god of death, like one of his idols, but it's actually just soap on a rope.
Is there anything for my god?
No, you couldn't find anything here yet.
Okay.
It seems a lot of the 5 are being represented here in novelty items.
I love the freaking god on a rope. That's great.
Did you head back?
Yeah, she heads
Stroop, you're
back.
gonna arrive first. Jason, you're gonna see her doing your rounds.
So I'll walk.
Okay. That's good podcasting.
Yeah.
How
intense shoulder movements.
Yeah.
Just a picture, but no head movement.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey Tayson. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, just we're here.
Okay.
How did you have fun?
Yeah, I got you some stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I they didn't have any games, but I found some cool items.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So this is this feather that reminded me of you. It's green. There you go.
Yeah.
I thought you could add it to your collection of feathers, because you have another feather, right? Am I misremembering
I
that you
mean,
have a feather?
we got a feather.
Yeah, now you have another feather. Now it's a collection.
Oh, I didn't assume that was just okay. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I got two.
And also, I got you this
Thank you.
glass eye.
Okay. Because it reminded you of me.
Yeah. Because
Can-
you're a watchful person, and you have, you always keep an eye on us and make sure we don't drink anything that hasn't been thoroughly watched, when we go out drinking. So you're our special eye guy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, here's your change, and I give him back 24 gold.
Okay. That's a lot. Did you buy anything for yourself?
No, I did not.
Why not?
It was just a really weird experience, that whole interaction that I had with the shopkeep,
Okay.
that I
Right.
wanted to not be there anymore.
When you say shopkeep, Myrynda comes up, and the only reason you notice because she's giggling to herself
Oh,
as she
hey.
walks up giggling.
Hey, Myrynda, did you have a good time shopping at that place that I did not want to go to that you apparently really needed to go to?
I have a glass eye and a feather now.
You have a glass eye and a feather now. That's did Stroop get those for you?
I didn't get them for me.
Well, interesting.
They reminded me of
Myrynda-
him.
Myrynda takes his 25 gold out of her stuff and hands it back to him. She goes, I did not find anything I thought you would find interesting.
Okay.
Did you find anything for yourself?
I did. She pulls out the rucksack, goes, I'm not quite sure what this is. It has fluffy things in it.
It's a knapsack, so it's like a computer bag, leather computer bag, for
Oh.
lack
Okay.
of better terms.
Can I see it?
Yeah. She
Looks at
passes it over.
opens it up.
She has at this point put her fluffy handcuffs in her bag itself.
You've hidden them in your bag.
Yes, she has
Okay.
them hidden in her bag.
You poke your head into the bag, and you see little balls of fluff in there.
I want to look.
I poke
I
one.
try to look over Tayson's shoulder, but he's taller than
But
me.
I'm 3 feet above your shoulder. So
Yeah, I'm like pulling the bag down. Like,
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I think Tayson is an empathetic person who is considerate, if not awkward. I think the second that you hand over the bag, Tayson takes a knee and opens it up to where Stroop could also look if she wanted. And if she doesn't, then Tayson's just looking at this on a knee because whatever.
Little balls of fur. The fur doesn't match. It looks like it almost looks like a rainbow of fur and like little balls in here.
Can I poke
Can
one?
I kind of check on them to see if I actually know anything about these?
Make an Arcana check, and then what were you saying, Jason? You're gonna pick one up.
I was gonna poke one.
Okay.
See if
You
it
can
was.
poke one.
That's-
Is
Nothing-
it soft, squishy?
That is a 19.
Okay. Nothing happens, Tayson, but as you're poking, Myrynda, you're finally getting over your sex shop experience. You bought a bag of tricks, specifically a gray bag of tricks, because that's the color of the bag.
What's that mean?
Oh, here. Let's
a
see.
magic
As
item.
I throw one of the things out of it. As I poke one and I just bring it out of my hand.
Okay, so you bring it out.
Yeah.
You don't do anything else.
I'm gonna put it on the ground.
Okay. As you put it on the ground, roll me a d8.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. I know what this is. I'm excited. 3.
This could go.
No idea
Terribly
what this is.
So you see a swirl of magic. The fur kind of like poofs out like a cat just having allergies and losing all its hair. Poof. And then sitting there, you see a badger.
I know what this is.
No idea what I bought, but it sounds cool.
I wanna pet it. I wanna pet the badger.
Pet the badger.
Droop walks up and extends a hand this way to the badger. Not this way, because that's not how you pet things. This way.
Yep. And it turns upside down and rubs its head on your hand. And it looks back at Tayson, looks back at you.
This is the best day of my life, guys. I am so happy.
Tayson looks back in the bag to see how many of these things there are in there.
Right now, there are 2 balls left in there.
Okay.
I want to pick the badger up. I want to put him on my shoulder. I know he's too big to fit on my shoulder, but I would like him to be there.
Did I just get Stroop a familiar? Basically.
For the time being.
You have a badge on your shoulder.
I love it.
Got a badger on her shoulder.
Tayson tries to do the underhand to try and see if it's okay with him. And sniff.
Friend.
When you extend your hand, it crawls over your arm and onto your shoulder.
Okay. Well, it's not mad.
Myrynda's gonna try and pet the badger now. Same way.
It allows you to pet it,
Yes.
but it does not move from Tayson's shoulder at this point.
The badger has chosen you. All hail the badger.
What should we name him? I feel like we should name him Fred. I really want to name him Fred. Can we name him Fred?
I don't want to name him anything because the last time we named something, we thought we were going to lose it forever, and then we found it 5 hours later.
But we found it.
That's true. All right. Hi, Fred.
Fred.
Fred. Fred the badger.
I wish I knew how to knit, and then I could make him a little sweater. I'm gonna take up knitting. Eventually. Not today. Eventually.
Are we good to camp out here then? I already set up the hammock.
Yeah, did you want to go check out the fair? I can hang out with the
Absolutely
cot.
not. No,
and
I'm okay.
I can hang the cot
No.
and the badger.
No,
No? Okay.
no. This is actually the most comfortable I've been with any kind of purchase ever. Oh, do you want this? Do you want this back, Myrynda?
She'll take her bag back, but she'll acknowledge that the badger has seemingly chosen Tayson.
Okay.
I want to feed Fred some rations. Here we go. Here's one of a little piece of my ration.
He eats the rest.
Yeah.
Do you
This
want,
is the best day ever.
Do you want to go over? Do you want to stay with Stroop? I don't know why
It's
I'm
okay.
talking to you.
Rubs.
I don't. Okay.
It rubs its head up against you.
Okay.
It likes you, Tayson. I'm not offended. Don't worry.
Okay.
I have plenty of animal friends, but this is great.
This
is great.
It's
Myrynda kind of like sticks her head in the bag and grabs another one of the tribbles out and like throws it on the ground.
Yeah, roll a d8.
Just so
Roll
you
a
know, this is
D8.
basically like a Pokeball. Like you gotta like this is what this is.
I love this. That's a D10. That is also a D10. Where the hell is a D8?
I mean,
Jesus.
roll a D10 and don't get a 9 or a 10. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
I found one.
Of the problems to have, this is one of the
3?
smaller ones. There you go. Hey, we got another badger.
A 3? Yeah, another badger appears.
Yes! She sits down and goes to, she does the thing and to pet the badger.
It allows you to pet it. It doesn't have the quirkiness the other one has, but it's still there for you. Yeah, it likes you a lot. Rubs your hand.
I mean, Stroop, there was one left in there if you wanna,
I think it's not my purchase, and
You can,
if
you can do it. By all means.
I would rather rather wait until I'm having like a really bad day to have another
Okay.
animal come out. Because this is already a very good day now, and if this happens again, it will make me very happy, and I would like to wait until I'm not having such a good day, and maybe this another animal would make me happy again.
It seems weird that we literally got a magic bag and you're waiting until you need an emotional support animal rather than, just follow the good that is currently, but that's okay.
Well, we already have 2 out. We don't. I mean,
But
it's.
I'm naming it Docs. DACHS. Docs.
I mean, sometimes you just need some emotional support, and today is
thought-
not a day that I need that.
I thought that's what friends were for. Okay.
Yeah, you guys are great. I love you very much, but fluffy animals just do something to my heart, you know?
I get it. Fred is great. It's like having a breathing scarf that can bite me if it is upset. Yay.
Don't make him upset.
I don't know how to make him happy either, so we're gonna learn by doing, I guess.
He seems real happy just being with you.
Okay. This has been a lot. I'm gonna go lay down.
Okay.
Tayson goes and lays down in his hammock 30 feet away from the cart.
And as you're getting in the hammock, the badger readjusts in the hammock, and as soon as you're done, it's laying right in the middle of your stomach, in your stomach.
Okay. I think what's happening is Tayson normally like sleeps with his hands like on his chest and kind of fidgets. uncomfortably until he finally falls asleep. So this is actually... Man. All right, Doc, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ruin me. I think this is super comforting because now instead of like fidgeting with his hands and like actually like sometimes rubbing the skin raw, he just like this little badger is there, so he's just like giving it good scrooches. And it's much more cathartic. Do badgers purr? Or do they purr? Is that a thing? Do they make it? They do now? Fantastic. Okay. So this is... I'm actually... Because purring is one of those things that actually does, like, a little bit of a healing thing. And it makes me very happy. So, I'm just...
This one purrs. If they don't, it does.
Yeah.
I'm
Homebrew!
amending how Dax's name is spelled. It's D-A-X.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're a shepherd. Cute. Dax Shepherd. Never mind. Don't worry. Keep moving on.
I got it.
Oh, it was terrible. I admit it. I'm in a good place here.
I was thinking Dax as in like Star Trek.
That also works.
Yeah.
So as the sun is starting to go down, what are you guys gonna do tonight? Just go to sleep?
Absolutely
I highly
not.
recommend it. It smells like lavender. There's emotional support animals running around.
That's not what's happening here.
I love that we have emotional support badgers.
Myrynda, I'm gonna stay awake. I'm gonna stay awake for a long time. So that nobody steals the cot.
We can take God. Like you do first watch, I do second.
That would be awesome. That would be great. I would like that.
Hey, Tayson, do you want to take third watch?
I don't need anything, thank you.
You know, let's not involve him. He stayed here while we went to the fair. We can just split it up. You know.
I mean, like, I can. What
no,
do you... What?
No. Go to bed, Tayson. Enjoy your Fred.
Yes, ma'am.
I hate when people call me
Who's
ma'am.
taking first watch?
I'm taking first watch. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a perception roll for your watch.
Perception. I should know this by now. I got 13. What?
I was ready for that song. It was a great song. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't ready for it.
13.
13.
You walk around, everything's normal. There's different camps not too far. I mean, far enough that not people aren't on top of each other, but other people are going to sleep. Fires, the smell of food, the smell of lavender. You lean against the cart at one moment, and then you smell sulfur. And then you sit up, and you look around. The sulfur smell's gone, but you're awake. Did you fade off for a second? No, you look, your cart's there, everybody's there. There's a purring badger on Tayson's chest. There's a snuggled badger in Myrynda's sleeping bag area. But your watch goes fine with just normal stuff going on. Nobody seems to be partying hard, but there's enough stuff going on that there's sound around you.
Awesome. Okay, it was probably nothing. It was probably just maybe I farted or something and didn't know. All right. Hey, Myrynda.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
Yes.
It's your turn. Your turn to watch.
She picks up Dax and puts them on her shoulder.
I'm gonna go sleep in that tree over there. Can you just make sure nobody climbs it and,
Yeah.
murders me? What is happening?
She
Sorry.
rubs at her eyes and wakes the fuck up. Like she grabs like, I don't know, do we have fantasy coffee in our rations?
We have coffee because we made that a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, she gets herself some coffee.
Sure.
And she takes her watch. What happens?
I need a perception roll, please.
Perception. Perception? Because we have a purring badger?
Badgers are like squeaky toys that could growl.
Let's see. Okay, so I get a +4 to... Wait. Yes, I get +4 to perception. So... that is... 18?
Midnight stuff going on at other camps that you can hear just barely on the wind. It's a nice night. It's cool. Nothing seems to happen on your shift. Tayson, roll me a wisdom save.
Yup.
Oh no. Is this happening on my shift?
I have an emotional support animal. Do I have advantage?
Oh yeah.
Please roll with advantage.
I don't need it. I got a 19 on the first one. I just wanted to make the joke. So that's a
You got a
23.
crit.
Oh, sorry.
Sweet dream.
No, it's a 23.
It's amazing. Wonderful dreams of purring and animals,
I love
and then all of a sudden you hear Tayson.
Hmm?
And you finally, it's one of those where you hear your name, you look around, you got your emotional support animals, you love it. You're starting to come out of it a little bit, and you're like, no, you're conscious, you're subconscious. Like, no, we love the animals, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you look.
Lucid dreaming to where I have that, like, little split second of, like, I'm in a dream. All right, here we go.
No, I'm talking about Doc's head, where I wake up from a dream that I like, and I try to go back to sleep because I want to start off where I left off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm awake. Voice sound familiar at all?
Yeah, it's Myrynda waking you up for your
Oh, gotcha.
shift.
It's your turn to keep watch.
Oh, okay.
She goes back with Dax and lays down in her sleeping bag, just cuddled down with the badger.
Okay. I will go to the cart.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna go basically cart adjacent, and I'm gonna Scrooge Fred and be like, okay, you look that way. If you see anything, give me a nibble. And then I don't expect it to happen, but I basically just want the badger looking the other way so I can just.
It does follows your command.
Hell
Looks around,
yes.
looks the other way, and roll me 2 perceptions. One for you and
Absolutely.
one for the badger, please.
So you know what? I didn't specify, but I think it's too funny. So badger got a natural 20.
Okay.
I can't say anything. I've had that happen, and it was great.
And I got a 16.
Yep. And you guys keep watch the whole night. Again, you hear the same sounds, the same smells. During your watch, the sun comes up, and you hear a sound of, and you turn. Fred's gone. You look over to Myrynda, and she's snuggling the air. As Dax
Aww.
is gone.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Damn.
Before
It was fun while it lasted.
before she wakes up, I want to go look in the bag.
There are 3 balls in the bag.
Okay. Well, that's all right then. Okay. All right. I'll wake up Myrynda first. She might be sad. All right. Myrynda.
Yeah.
First of all, don't panic.
I'm awake.
Don't panic. It's fine. Don't panic. Okay.
Why am I not panicking? And then she feels
Yeah.
where Dax was. Wait a minute.
No,
Where's Dax?
They're look. I open the bag.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's okay.
Okay.
I just again, I think we're basically just gonna have to name the balls, and then,
Are the balls slightly different colors so we can tell which one's which?
Now, Doc, before you say yes or
Yes.
no,
No,
because
yes.
here's what's important. I want the opportunity to
No,
look in
yes.
and
I
say,
don't
I
care.
choose you,
Yes.
Fred. Like, come on.
Yes.
I don't care what Fred turns into, but I want to choose Fred specifically.
There's
Yeah,
a
exactly.
Dax, an unnamed, and a Fred. Got it.
Okay.
Anna, what do you want to name your
Well,
tribble?
we're waking over. Hey, Stroop, good news. Good news. Stroop.
What?
Hey, you remember how you didn't want to, like, ruin the, I'll save mine for when I need it? Well, they go back into the bag overnight. So you get to do it. You get to do it.
I'm sleeping in a tree, so I just picture Tayson yelling into a tree.
Yes.
These things.
Yes.
And I'm just looking down at him like, that's lovely, Tayson.
No! Stroop, come down here!
Oh, get down!
This is good news, I promise.
Okay, I'm coming, and get down the tree.
And I'm like literally just holding the bag open and just like as she's climbing down the tree.
That is so lovely, Tayson. Oh my god. Oh.
We're naming the trolls. The polymorphing tribbles.
This is not what I thought was gonna happen to these things, and now
No, very.
I'm having anxiety.
It's very strange. Yes, that's but look, they're different, so we can name them each. So you can have a pet.
Yeah, but I already named yours, Fred. Do you want to name the other one?
I mean, Fred and I have bonded overnight, so I think it's okay.
Okay, I'll name this one,
Actually, you know what? I'll tell you what. If you can't think of a name, I'll name it. Because I have
what's
one.
your name?
Fred Jr.
Whoa.
We have Fred.
Yes,
Fred Jr.
yes.
and Dax.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Bria, but Fred Jr.
It
sounds
sounds
way
like
better.
Sounds like a family to me in that bag.
Yep.
Fred Jr. it is. But we don't know if Fred Jr. is a badger or if he's another thing, so that will be exciting to find out.
Oh, we'll find out. Well, let's find out now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. She picks up Fred Jr. and gives it a little toss.
Roll a d8.
You know, that thing you do with animals where you pick them up when they're in the ball form and just
Yeah, and you throw 'em.
throw them lightly into the air.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do with my
choose
rats.
you. I choose you, Fred Jr.
I got a 6.
You throw it up in the air. It lands, and there's a puff, and the puff's bigger than the last puff was. And as the smoke clears, I'm not kidding, a giant badger is sitting there, one that Stroop could ride.
Yes, Junior!
Fucking giant badger. Oh my god.
This is, Fred Jr. Okay. I don't,
It's a little bigger than you.
Hi, Fred Jr.
Rubs against you, almost knocks you over. It's like owning a big dog. Yeah.
This is the best day of my life. I know I said
fucking
yesterday.
love it.
I know I said yesterday was the best day of my life, but this is even better. I hug Fred Jr. Just
See, you gotta chase your
Tackle
bliss.
him.
Don't put it off.
yeah, I'm very happy that I waited though. It makes it that much better, and I'm glad we named him first before we found out what he is. This is awesome.
Do you two want to pull your balls out? Or you
Yes.
leave them
Excuse
there?
me. Hold on.
You already put that it's an adult podcast. I saw it in
Yep.
chat.
Listen,
It's
I
true.
put it there for reasons that were beyond my control.
I don't know what
Who's
you're
going-
talking about.
Who's going first?
No.
Myrynda's going first.
Sure. We can
All right,
do that.
Myrynda, you pick up the ball and you let it down and roll me a d8.
It's different every time.
That's a 1. What does
Poof
what
of
does Dax
smoke.
turn into?
Poof of smoke, or poof of fur again. This time a little bit smaller, and all of a sudden you see a weasel just come out, roll around your leg, up, and now it's over your shoulder.
Love it! Dax is a weasel now. Oh my god, I love. Hi! Hello! Hi. And she's like giving it scritches.
This is awesome.
Okay.
This is amazing.
What?
Tayson, do it!
Tayson, you gotta get You gotta get Fred out.
Oh. Okay.
Get Fred out.
Okay.
We have to know what Fred is today.
Tayson is gonna walk away because now they come in different sizes and there are lots of different animals. And I'm afraid that one of these animals is going to be the prey of one of these other things. I don't know. So Tayson is gonna walk away and just, hey Fred, come on out. And he's gonna take the ball and just go boop on the ground.
Okay. Roll me a D8.
7.
Big
7 get us.
poof of fur. It makes you back up a couple of steps.
Mhm.
And before the fur even settles, you hear as there's a dire wolf now standing there as tall as you are to your shoulder.
Good Fred. Nice Fred.
And it rubs its head against you and licks your face.
Okay.
I love this. I am so happy.
Fred Jr., that's your father. Kind of.
You're not sure, but you think you see Fred Jr. go,
Good enough, right? Yeah. This is
Okay.
the best day ever.
Okay.
Dax, these are your siblings.
Okay. So
She's still giving scritches, by the way.
"Hmm?"
Good boy. Cool. I think you're a little big to ride in the cart. Do you want to walk by it?
Why don't you ride him?
Well, I'm not gonna just do that. He has to tell me that I can do that. He's only been alive for, I don't know, as far as I can tell, like a day. So I don't know.
You know what? I'm going to add a little bit to this.
Okay.
You each sense a small connection.
Yay! We did it! Yay! Our DM has given us something that we care about that he can take away at any time.
Oh no.
I would die for Fred Jr. I would die.
We'll see. I mean, don't worry about it.
I don't
We
care.
will, Doc. We will.
Washington's not that far of a drive.
Okay. Hey, can one of you
After
drive?
much excitement
Yeah, I'm gonna walk with Fred.
and a bunch of people being scared, you want to get moving? You still have... I mean, you ended up there today. Hold on, let me pull the map up real quick. You have
So
about 13 more days of... I'm sorry.
So wait, we have rolled a 1, a 3,
18.
A 6 and a 7.
6, and a 7.
You have about 18 more days of travel.
I thought it was 2 weeks total.
Or you can spend
Jeez.
another, it's 3 weeks total.
No, we gotta go.
It's 21 days.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it.
We gotta
moving.
get gone.
All right, breakfast on the road it is. Rations it is.
Yep.
Do it to it.
Okay. You guys head off.
We have a cart. You
You-
don't have to walk.
I
Oh.
ferociously walk to the cart.
Okay. So you have
riding a giant
you
badger
have a
next to the
giant
cart, a
badger
little
to
buzz
ride
going,
and
Oh,
Oh my god, am I the one doing the cart thing this time because Stroop is riding a badger?
just
Yeah.
walk. I feel bad leaving, my big doggo to walk without me, so I'm walking next to my big doggo and just okay, good boy, scooches.
I am laying like with my head next to the badger's head, holding on to the neck but laying down like you would ride on a pterodactyl. So
you're-
I am riding this giant badger.
Yeah. Who doesn't know how you ride on a pterodactyl?
Yeah, didn't you see that movie Dinotopia? No, okay.
I was
just
thinking more Avatar with those little flying pterodactylish things.
Oh, I only saw that like once, but I've seen Dinotopia so many times. If anybody has seen Dinotopia, I will give you a high five.
Let's hear it for our
Hands
new
on
sponsor, Dinotopia. Dinotopia, where you can ride a pterodactyl and know how it looks. I can do a really good pterodactyl noise, but it's extremely loud and it'll blow out the mics, so I'm not going to do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Everyone will be sad. Except me.
You travel and now are a day south of the crossroads as you come to an end. What do you guys talk about? Anything important? Or are we still just enamored by our aminals?
I talk about
with the animals.
I talk about the logistics of riding a pterodactyl and no, how it's really
How
important.
do you know how to ride a pterodactyl? What's a pterodactyl, by the way? I've never seen one.
It's like a giant flying bird.
It's like a dragon,
Why
but
wouldn't
weirder.
you just ride a bird?
You know, because sometimes they're not as friendly. But you really got to put your whole body into it so you can remain aerodynamic with the thing. It's really, really important that you have to ride with it, not you're not in charge of it. You just ride with it. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, good. Yeah, you should.
This isn't even canon. This is real life. This is how you ride a pterodactyl, people.
I know things about things. Not a lot of things, but I know things about certain things.
Okay, we'll go with that. Now, this is like a day later, right? How long about do our
Is there
animals
anything
stay?
you bring up? Do you bring up anything while you're on the road? The animals will be the entire trip at least.
No.
Nope.
Hey, if you smell anybody that isn't us around us, can you give me an ow?
An ara.
Just let me.
It just
Okay, thank you. Good boy. Good boy. Can I get you anything? I'm sorry. I didn't even think to ask. Do you need to eat?
you hear "Ow," and then you see people come over the hill just ahead of you,
Oh, good job.
traveling.
Good job. I need to figure out treats. Oh, but you're different each time. I need to find just generic treats that you can eat whatever you are, and I don't even know all the things you can be.
We need to make pumpkin cookies or something.
You just dry out some jerky, you know, make some jerky.
But what if they turn into things that don't eat meat?
A lot of
Well,
things
so
eat
far, all of them are omnivorous, at least. So,
meat. I would like to pterodactyl ride Fred Jr. in front, like significantly in front to meet people, to meet the people coming over the ledge. But I want to duck
Okay.
down so they don't see me and they just think
you just see the giant badger.
And then I want
Yeah,
to project my voice and say hello.
All right, so
Hold on. You are
I'm
doing the thing that
I'm
usually gets people. You're doing the thing that usually D&D players do that requires rolling for initiative. Ah, you see a beast approaching you. Like,
I don't. Well, first, I need a stealth. Let's see how well you hide on your badger.
hopefully poorly.
I will say at disadvantage because you're laying on top of the badger.
I got a 7.
Okay. Roll a performance to throw your voice as you're trying to do this to oncomers.
11.
You don't need any other rolls. You excite some kids that are like, "Oh, cute badger," and then the parents are like, "Oh, you're a scary badger." Yes, you are, because you're so tiny. They think somebody's kid's having fun.
Do I know they're making fun of me?
You can sense the sarcasm when they're like, "Oh, scary badger, yeah, coming at us." It's very patronizing.
But it's patronizing
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, they're patronizing like you're a child because they assume you're a child. Not,
Yes.
I'm making fun of this halfling and considering them like a child, even though I know they are a halfling.
I think Stroop, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I'm just like, you know what? I tried to do a goof, and it didn't go as goofy as I thought it was gonna go.
But it goofed ungoofed. Yeah.
It was a goof. It
Yeah.
was a goof, and children are happy, and my badger is happy.
More importantly, you go up on your badger with these children laughing. They're like, "Oh, it's a good badger," and then not too far away, they see a waving Tayson and Myrynda with a goddamn dire wolf. Just hey.
They see a weasel
Yeah.
at this point on Myrynda's head because she's like,
So they don't see the wolf so much as hear it every time they come around and
Ooh.
come near you. You guys have fun on this trip. It's a wonderful day. Why wouldn't it be? Have the good times.
Then
You get to your next camping spot. Less people here. The crossroads, like I said, are 3 roads that cross. One goes into the forest, one goes forest, the plains. One of them goes, up the mining trail into the lower forest, and then there's the main road that you're on. It's a little less people today. The sky is a little more purple than normal as Dayton is coming into. I'm sorry, is a little less purple as Dayton is going out. Ashtira seems to be starting to form, so the white light and the purple lights mix. The stars are out. It's beautiful. And you guys set up camp.
Yeah, let's set up camp.
vacation. We did decide that Myrynda could also see the blue light around the moons, right?
So, Dayton shines. Oh, yes. Yes, I did tell you that. So, yes, Ashtira has more of a. It's white, but certain. Like Tayson would notice, and even Myrynda would notice. It's not pure white. It's like a very, very, very light shade of blue.
Do we know what this means? Why it's blue?
Because that's the color it is.
Oh, okay. You should know if there's like some magical reason or anything.
I mean, magic.
You want to go to the moon?
Colors are magic to some people.
All right, Mike, we get it.
Well,
you're projecting here.
No, you wouldn't have. Well, that and you wouldn't have magic berries if they weren't.
Imagination.
But you guys set up camp.
Okay.
It's a beautiful
Nobody
night.
sets up camp near you. It's way spread out as you're on the road.
Okay.
I thought it was because we had all these animals, but yeah, that would make sense.
6 in
too.
one hand, half a dozen in the other.
It could be. You don't know.
All right. Do you want me to do the last one again? I can do the last one again.
We can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take first watch. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Roll me a perception on your first one.
Let's do it. Do it. On the surface, Hannah. What are you thinking?
Nope, I'm a halfling. Okay. I got it. I got 7.
Playing with the Badger is amazing. You had a lot of fun. And at one point you're like, oh yeah, I'm on watch. Who am I waking up again? You really quick look around because you're scared, but your card is there.
So that sounds a lot like Hannah. Yeah. Hey, Myrynda. It's your turn. Hey,
Okay.
just don't get distracted by your animal too much. I know they're very distracting, but I did a really good job not being distracted.
Oh, awesome.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna go climb that tree over there.
Awesome. She's still like rubbing sleep out of her eyes. And I already did my perception check just now. That is a total of 24 with a nat 20.
24.
Uh-huh.
You look off in the distance and you're seeing flame moving through the forest. It's way, way off. If you had to guess 300 yards, but the trees throw it off. It's hard to see through these little sparse forest areas. Could be another campsite. What do you want to do?
For our connection with the animals.
Hmm?
Are we able to talk to them in the heads like familiars?
Seems like it.
I mean, you can talk to animals.
Okay. I'm going to have Dax go check it out.
Okay. So you like think this, say this, you're testing it because you really haven't. You've just been playing with the animal the whole time. You're like, "Hey, Dax, did you go check that out?" And sure enough, you swear to God the swear to gods that it goes and jumps off and runs.
Like she'll move in a little bit closer too, but she's using Dax to suss out the area.
As you start moving in a little closer, you're going slower. Dax can move a lot faster than to be seen. I rolled a stealth roll for Dax
Okay.
because as you're walking, all of a sudden you feel that connection end. You see the flames in the distance just stop moving. And then it looks like they're going left or right. How long are you going to watch?
She's sussing it out, but not... Should I do like a wisdom check to see? Because Lissa gets the idea that this is hypnotic, but does Myrynda?
Right now, all you see is a light going left or right. I'm just asking you how long you're going to watch, or are you going to go back to camp? Because you were moving forward.
She's gonna go back to camp and warn Tayson and Stroop.
Okay. You head back to camp and you're on your own.
She's gonna check the bag and see if Dax is back in there in Pokeball form.
Right now, there is no Pokeball in there.
Okay. So, okay, can I track a weasel? How do you track a weasel?
You knew that the connection was cut because your weasel died.
Oh no. Well, fuck.
But you ran back to camp to wake up and tell people, and this is where you take over.
Guys, I don't know what's going on over there, but, Dax, she looks like really sad. And she goes, Dax didn't make it.
What do you mean Dax didn't make it? Stroop climbs down the tree.
I mean, I felt the connection snap. And he's not in the bag.
Okay. I mean, where'd he go?
There was flame over there, and it was...
Do we still see it?
As you look, it's away. But it seems closer, Myrynda, as you point the flame out now.
We should probably get away from that.
It's just, it's not like the forest is on fire, just two little flames, but now they seem closer.
You think that torches? Maybe someone's finding their way through the brush?
I don't know, but it killed my weasel.
We should kill them. We should find them and hurt them.
Hold on, they could be just hunting, and I mean, if they were...
They killed Dax!
Right. Dax is an animal, and if they were hunting for food, they would be likely to... What are you talking about?
Son,
I'm not... What?
my baby.
And I'm really sorry, and I hope that he comes back. But also, you took your baby out into a forest where people are camping and also probably trying to make sure that they eat the next day.
Why would they go after a weasel?
They didn't go after a
Weasels
weasel.
aren't particularly tasty.
You know what's tastier, or you know what's less tasty than a weasel? Starving.
Stroop, are you down to clown on this?
I am very conflicted. Tayson does bring up a good point.
I mean, we can, like, go check it out. I'm just saying.
but
that
yeah, we should. I think we should check it out and let them know.
Was he riding on your shoulder or something?
No, I was using him to scout ahead.
Well,
He's
then
tiny.
of course he was by himself.
Yeah, I mean, but we should definitely go check this out
I'll tell you what.
and demand a weasel from them.
I will. I can go ahead. Fred is big, and I can walk with Fred. And we can so.
You can ride on Fred.
Well, I'm not riding on Fred because if something hurts Fred and Fred goes away, I don't want to fall. I'll walk with Fred. Just I guess be ready in case it's weird, but also, be ready to relax and don't be angry if it turns out that they're just, people.
Yeah, I'm gonna produce flame, and that way we have some light as
Okay.
well, and that way they see us coming
Yeah.
and don't shoot arrows at us and our familiars. Well, not,
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You produce flame, and you're talking. What's the plan? All three of you are walking away from the cart into the darkness.
I
to
was
these
planning
two
on just
flames?
going by myself.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Can I hand this to someone?
No, it's
No.
yours. You
Yeah.
can throw it at somebody as an attack.
Yeah, I think I should go with Tayson.
I can just. Do you just? I mean, I can just. Grab
Can you
us.
produce flame?
I mean,
Oh yeah, and then I guess you can touch
Just-
it to this. Yeah.
I was gonna say just put it on a stick.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we do that. I'm also gonna hold it.
I make a.
I know somebody's got a torch because we talked about it.
Right. I'm just like, okay, but I wanted her to feel good about using her produced flame stuff.
Yeah.
This is a
This is
Tayson
very
thing.
nice.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
That's really
So
great.
you pick up a stick. Yeah. You
Yeah.
pick up a stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm also gonna
who's-
I'm gonna keep the flame going while we sit at
and
the
that's
cart.
fine. Mhm.
So that way.
So, Tayson and Fred go walking off.
Mhm.
You two are sitting by the cart.
Fred
There's
Jr.
light. And there's a big badger, and that's it. Tayson, you and Fred go moving forward. Are you trying to be stealthy or trying to let people know?
No.
you're here?
I've got a torch lit. This is very much a okay, cool. Anything that did see something before, like they saw something before, so I'm not
Okay.
super worried about it. And
How?
just hey, Fred.
And you're heading to that area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that
okay.
I think that Tayson has a given the upbringing. I think Tayson has a lot of naivete, but is also does have a pretty good
yeah.
fight or flight instinct. As far as oh no, this is bad. But right now it's
Also, you understand hunting and
Yeah.
grabbing smaller creatures.
right.
Yeah.
So I basically just tell Fred, hey, if it gets bad, run back, okay? Go try and get the others. Don't go at people. We don't
He
need that.
nods.
Cool. Okay.
Yep, he nods.
Okay.
You're about 150 feet away. What makes you stop is a light comes from behind the tree.
Mhm.
You hear a snap of a twig as the description of one of Stroop's dreams comes into... Well, she never told you.
Gee,
so you don't
I have
know.
no idea what we're looking at.
As a literal burning dog, all encased in flame, comes around. It takes one step, two steps. It starts speeding up as a second one comes out from around another set of trees. Fred looks at you and runs.
Mhm.
And we'll see you next time on
Yeah.
the Bros and Dragons podcast.
He's a good dog. He listened. Thanks for watching, everybody.
So, back at the hut,
Yep.
the old man sits there cooking his late night dinner, smiling because of a couple of weird people that came to him in the woods. Their cart was outside. You see a cloaked figure walk up to the door. Open the door. You hear Elrond from the inside. Excuse me, are you lost? And you hear a voice. I am not lost. But I know what you're doing here. You don't know Oh. Gone. The old man walks over, moves the cabinet, and there's stairs that go underneath. As he starts walking down the stairs, he says, well, of course they missed this. I guess I'll have to do it myself. And now we'll see you next time on the Bros and Dragons podcast.
Bye, everybody.
Not L. Ron Hubbard.